Hello, my name is Michael Portas. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the Pequannock Township School District. Very excited to be joined today for a podcast on a student-generated promotional video that two of our young students are currently working on developing. They actually began the project last year, and we're going to get a sense of not only what the project is, but also what they aspire to accomplish with it. Also worth noting is that today, while we're filming, is National Podcast Day, which is a fact of which I knew nothing until about a minute and a half ago. But today we're filming as September 30th, so happy National Podcast Day. I'm glad we could celebrate in true style. I'll allow you two to introduce yourselves, and then we'll launch into our questions and hopefully share with our audience some great information about a project that I'm really excited that you're doing.
My name is Bella.
I'm Sophia.
Excellent. And you're both currently seniors, yes?
Yes.
So this came about, started last year. So that actually gets us into my first question. And we haven't really coordinated who's answering what. So if there's any overlap, it's totally normal. It shows it's an authentic conversation. But thanks so much for joining me today, too. I know you're super busy, senior year. So thanks for taking the time for this. So my first question, getting choked up, so emotional. Can you tell our audience about your project and the product that you're hoping to deliver?
Okay, so our project is basically a district-wide promotional video, which is going to include basically a montage of our whole school district. Mm-hmm. So that includes elementary schools, the middle school, and the high school, of course. And we really want to highlight what it means to be a Panther and what it means to go through the school district here.
Very cool. And I like also that you brought in the part about the Panther, because up until it was about 12 years ago or so, maybe a little longer, we weren't all Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Each school had its own name. And I know North Boulevard still has something about the Bobcats.
Yeah.
So all 5 schools were all Panthers. So I like that there's that shared identity throughout. Did you want to add anything about that? Or?
We're just going to be focusing on what they do in school. So the classroom, sports, some club activities, mm-hmm. and just things that we also all do together in the district to show what our town's about.
Yeah,
that's
different
great.
Events and ceremonies, all of that.
That's really great. And something that I'm really excited about, and they first brought this idea up to me late in the school year last year. What I'm so excited about is it's coming from you. It's not me telling people, hey, here's the place where I'm work and I'm compensated to provide promotional information. You're authentic. You're living it. This is where you've grown up and where you're attending school. So there's to use the word again, there's a level of authenticity I think is fantastic. Yeah. So my next question is, what inspired this project, which I will add is very ambitious?
Yeah. So last school year, right around this time, my marketing class was trying to figure out what we should do for our projects, and hearing all of the other groups' ideas, they were just doing the normal things like interviews, sports videos, stuff like that. And he came over to my group, which actually had 2 capstones at the time. So he wanted us to do something a little more than the other groups. Mm-hmm. And he was like, try to incorporate parents and outsiders so they can be engaging with our social media platforms and not just the students going on them. And so we kept looking, kept thinking, and we came up with a promotional video, but only for this school. And that took a couple months to do. We got it out, did pretty good. So once that happened, we kind of were talking with him, me, Bella, and him. And we were like, maybe we should do a whole district one so we can get the other schools incorporated and kind of bring our district together a little more.
Yep. Yeah. And this isn't part of the script, which is pretty typical. Ms. Noon's probably chuckling to herself because I do this all the time. But have you had that moment where you realize, oh my gosh, this is bigger than we thought it was going to be?
Yeah. So obviously the video last year was big, and it was one of our most popular, viewed, liked videos that we have on the Instagram page. So we knew it was going to be big. And even bigger than that, so it's exciting, but also a little stressful. But we're proud to be doing it.
Yeah,
that's great. And not that I'm saying I'm ecstatic that you guys are experiencing stress, but that is it's an important aspect of your full educational experience
Yeah.
that you have to figure out, okay, this is really hard. And instead of saying, let's cut bait on it, no, this is really hard, so this is what we have to do to organize it. These are the people we have to reach out to for help. And I do sincerely hope that you've felt supported throughout the process by not just people in your inner circle, but from the different schools, hopefully extending themselves to make it a little more manageable for you.
Yeah.
100%.
Good. And I wasn't fishing for that to get somebody in trouble if you were like, well, there's one principal. But anyway. So next question from the actual script is, are there common threads that you're noticing about people's perceptions of our school community? And with that, any surprises or otherwise noteworthy topics or items that you want to just talk about? And this is really up to you from your experiences.
I would say one of the things is that's also why we're doing this video is we've noticed like we have Panther Pride obviously, but it's specific to schools. Like it's just in each elementary school, it's just in the middle school, it's just in the high school. And that's a reason why we want to bring it together, because people's perspectives is like, oh, like Pequannock Township High School or PTHS Nation, so Pequannock Township High School's Instagram. But we want it to be like the whole district to have that like Panther Pride and bring everyone together.
Even like the 3 elementary schools, like even they have specific differences between the 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
People kind of think of the elementary schools as one whole, but I feel like that's not even there. So we're going to try and make that happen into one video, if that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. And what's really interesting, we talk about Panther Pride, but I think what you're trying to do is help people define it. And when I was an English teacher in this building, I used to, as an opening writing, I would sometimes ask students to define a concept. So you ask somebody, use the word love all the time. Right, now define it, or define the word respect. Define these things, and it's a great critical thinking exercise. Not to get all eggheady on this, but I am a bit of a nerd. But to have people think about, like, what does that mean? And I think by you going to all 5 schools, you're seeing those commonalities, which is really exciting. But also the differences too, because we're not all homogenized.
Yeah. Even like each principal is different, so they're going to lead their school differently. So that also affects how the schools act as a school and how they think. So seeing all of that difference and putting it all into one video is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. I probably shouldn't say this out loud. I might have Ms. Noon edit it, but I've actually, in conversations with my wife, talking about work, because I work very closely with all 5 principals. I tell her, I feel like I put together a boy band. Like it's amazing. Like they each have like their own, their own distinctive niche, and you put them together, and I guess they produce a beautiful harmony. But I don't want 5 people who are all the same. So what Mr. Hazler brings differs from what Mr. Sebrowski does, and then Mr. Reiner and Ms. Stager and Dr. Schleary. So really cool. And I think for you to see that, I'm very interested to see the end product and maybe even talk to you about as well, like just what you picked up.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll make me better at my job, if that's possible. And it is. And then finally, and this one I'm really excited to ask you, and I did talk to the girls briefly about this before we started. And the question is about what type of legacy are you hoping to leave with this video? And when I was generating the questions for this, that actually gave me reason for pause. I went to 2 different high schools. My family moved. It wasn't like I got kicked out or anything. But I don't know that there's any remnant in either place. I graduated a while ago, but of my having been there. Like I feel like I didn't leave anything behind. And not that I was aware that, oh, 18, I should probably leave my mark. But you're going to leave something. So what do you feel like? What type of legacy do you hope you leave with this video, which is going to be memorialized for, I'm assuming, quite a while?
Yeah, so obviously in our like society, I guess now, I would say social media is becoming really big, which can either mean people have a negative impact or footprint, I should say, on social media, or a positive impact on social media. And I feel like it's really important to us that we have a positive one, and this is really going to kickstart that for us. So we're really hoping to leave a positive legacy on PTHS social media.
That's great.
And also, like, I was thinking about this question, and I was like, with the lip dub that happened so long ago, that's like, great. Yeah, that was one of the like biggest videos that happened at all of the school districts. That was like the first time they all really got together and did a video. So like, and that's still talked about till this day. Like, we'll go and watch it, like, in the summertime with all our friends and be like, oh, look who's in it. Like, we
or, like, look
people.
how young we were.
Yeah.
You were what, 4th grade for that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, like, we want to create a video that can be talked about for years on, and people can go watch and be like, oh, look when we did that and stuff like that. And we also, like, between, like, us two, we're just, like, 2 seniors, as we've said, doing this whole huge video. So we kind of just want to, like, leave the legacy and show people, like, you can, like, do what you, like, put your mind to. Like, if you want to do the video, if you want to put something out on social media that's, like, helping people or, like, promoting something, like, you can do it. It's going to take a lot of work, which we've realized, but, like, we just want to leave that legacy.
And that's great. And I'm hoping that you're also becoming aware. And you mentioned the lip dub. And I remember when the students were organizing, I was still a principal at Hillview at the time. And I thought it was so fantastic. And it is so fantastic. But those students who did that were role models. And maybe they weren't aware of it while they were taking care of the lip dub. And it really was great. It's very entertaining. But that you can be that for students without them necessarily realizing it, that you can create something that they want to emulate. And I'm so glad, too, that you brought up the concept of a digital footprint. And I did have a note to self because I wanted to make sure I touched on it. I feel like every student who goes through our schools should do so knowing that their social media footprint should help them get into a college rather than limit it. It should help them get a job as opposed to lose one or otherwise be, have it jeopardized. And for you to have that awareness that you could create a digital portfolio with links and say, yeah, click on that one. That's me on Instagram. Click on this one. That's me on whatever other resource. And that somebody's going to see it and realize, wow, that's positive. That's making a difference. It's really easy to get pulled into the negative, but to produce the positive, as you've discovered, it's a lot of work. It's great work. And I'm happy. And I'm hoping that this is something that you have worked on developing. Is at least, if nothing else, you have a list of links of like really good posts or other items. And I had to admit to them, I don't know if it's an Instagram account. Is it an Instagram feed? Is it a feed from an account? I don't know. I'm in my 50s. I apologize. But I think that's really great for you to have. And that actually is a segue into just one final point, too, is can you just talk to us about your role in the district's Instagram feed account?
I know we have our Pequannock Instagram account, and I think that a lot that comes from there is from our PTHS Nation account.
It is.
And most of that is curated by students, which I think is even more amazing that it goes onto our whole Pequannock School District account. So I think when we do post on PTHS Nation, we are thinking about how to reach the biggest audience.
Absolutely. I mean, I joke about my social media reach that I have my tens and tens of followers, but I mean, you're looking at something that will get into the hundreds and possibly beyond. And something that we saw in a separate project, the Profile of Graduate project, how involved our alumni really are, and how they're keeping track of what's going on here, and they want to know. And so you're going to have an audience, I think, is going to be very hungry for the information and really proud to look at it and say, I went there. I'm a part of that. So very cool. Any last points, or we kind of covered really everything?
That's most of it.
I think we're good. Yeah.
And this is probably my most efficient podcast ever. So I guess the key is make sure I'm working with students, and they'll keep me on track. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, girls, for taking the time not only for this podcast but also for the promotional video. I think it's awesome. I'm really excited to see the completed project. Please, if I can be of assistance, let me know. If Ms. Noon can, she's a wizard with all things tech, so she'll certainly help out. I just told her that she's going to. Common district practice. Anyway, thank you very much to our audience for tuning in as well. And if you have any questions about the project, you can feel free to reach out to me, and I will forward your questions or ideas right on to the girls. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you. Have a great rest of the day.